It's a points-based program, and we reward points today for activities and always have. And it's so fun to see how people use them. Some people have used their points to buy a new vehicle. Not a lot. I mean, it's a lot of points to buy new, but it has happened. Can you imagine walking into a dealership and saying, this one's on Ford because I've been a loyal member, using their credit card or servicing through them, and I have enough points for a brand new free vehicle.
You know, I actually hadn't even thought it would be possible to get a free car. That's unbelievable.
We just stepped back and we, of course, by direction from our customers and our dealer partners, they said, you know, we have some changes to make. It's a little too complicated. It's a little too confusing to communicate and even understand fully.
Yeah.
And that sometimes things like that, friction will inhibit participation. We just simplified the program. It was just announced to our members, could not be more excited. And it's so easy. I think a kindergartner can explain it now. And that's good, right? So it's so simple. It's about $1.5 billion in points that we have awarded. And I feel really great about that because that's every one of those dollars is an appreciation dollar that goes back into somebody's hearts and mind that they know that the company that they're buying their vehicles from appreciate their business and are coming back and giving that to them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of what we're doing in the next couple of years is really doubling down the benefits and rewards. Okay. What else can we do? What else can we offer in curating special experiences? How lucky are we that we get to spend our days thinking about how to reward people and recognize people? So lucky.
Hello and welcome to today's episode of Let's Talk Loyalty and Loyalty TV. Today is the first time we're featuring an automotive brand as our guest, either on Let's Talk Loyalty or Loyalty TV. And I'm delighted it's such an iconic brand. The Ford Motor Company has recently celebrated 120 years in business, and they truly are a pioneer of modern transportation. As you can imagine, their approach to loyalty is equally exciting. So I was thrilled recently to meet Beth Leverton at the Comarch User Group conference in Krakow. Beth is the Director of Rewards Loyalty CX at the Ford Motor Group. And she joins us on the show today to share both the benefits and challenges of driving loyalty for such a huge organization that sells cars in over 126 countries globally. I hope you enjoy my conversation with Beth Leverton from the Ford Motor Company. So, Beth Leverton, welcome to Let's Talk Loyalty and Loyalty TV.
Paula Thomas, it's such a pleasure to be here. I feel like it was just a moment ago when we met this spring, and now fast forward to later in the year, and I'm here with the Queen herself, Loyalty Royalty, and I couldn't be more excited.
Thank you, Beth. Right back at you. I think Loyalty Royalty for sure. We were very blessed to be brought together in Krakow. You gave an extraordinary presentation about what's going on from a loyalty perspective in Ford. And I'd often thought, my goodness, you know, it's the perhaps, you know, second biggest purchase of all of our lives. And yet I hear so little about loyalty in the car industry. So I am thrilled to have you here. And we have a big story to talk about today, both, I suppose, in terms of your personal loyalty to Ford, which definitely has to be recognized, but overall what you've created with this rewards program. So, as you know, Beth, we always start our show trying to get a sense of what our loyalty professionals really admire and appreciate from a personal perspective, but as a loyalty professional. So let's get straight into it, Beth. What is your favorite loyalty program, please?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, it was hard to choose because I realized I participate in a lot. And I know in a previous podcast, you confessed you focus on, you're very loyal to the ones you use the most.
Yeah.
But I participate in a number, but I travel a lot for work and for professional life as well. And there's no way I could skip saying Delta Airlines. And the list is so long why I would choose Delta Airlines. I know a number of people have, which explain why they're so successful in this space. Yeah. But some of the things I think about, they've literally had me change my behavior. I've changed my behavior to stay a part of their program. And I'm just going to give a quick example.
Please.
I was looking for a tropical vacation. I was pretty excited about it, but then I noticed that Delta didn't fly to that unique destination. So I changed my destination so I could stick with my coveted, beloved Delta Airlines. And I thought, I stepped back and thought, oh my goodness, the program's so strong, they changed my vacation destination.
Wow.
And so many things. They own my wallet. I love their program in entirety. And when I think about the, on a day-to-day basis, how much I use it and appreciate the rewards and the recognition and the perks that they offer. And as a loyalist in this space, I so appreciate some of the cool things they're doing. Delta is a hub in Detroit, which is close to where I live.
Yeah.
And I was at the airport one day, and it was a delayed flight from weather, and a lot of, some people were getting a little frustrated, and in rolls this sunshine and welcome wagon of snacks and a wheel and all sorts of activity. And it was the Delta team. They didn't want folks to be unhappy while they were waiting. And they brought in this whole experience, like gaming with a wheel of gifts and handing out treats. And I spoke to the gal that was running it, and I said, this was really nice. And she said, it's something we're piloting, and I'm glad to see that you like it. And I thought, very cool. And we pilot a lot of things at Ford too, and to see them provide that really great experience like that, they always impress me. They always impress me. And so I love Delta, but again, I have so many. It was hard for me to choose. Like the pragmatists and the sometimes would say Costco, because I use them every single week. I fill up, I appreciate the rewards from my filling up my gas tank, but also traveling so much national through Enterprise Holdings they've made life so frictionless for me when I travel. And again, change my behavior. I will pay a little extra even sometimes to make sure I have that national experience.
Yeah.
A little bit earlier in my career, learning about loyalty, I read the book Driving Loyalty. I'm not sure, but really great one. And in that book, it talks about the enterprise story and how they purposefully have their 3 different brands and how they come to market for their guests. And I feel it that they know that I'm a business traveler, and they are giving me that frictionless, get to the airport, really nice experience of grabbing that car and going and bringing it back with ease. And so you really appreciate, I think the more you travel, and I know you have a lot of experience in those spaces through your business background as well as the loyalty space, but in traveling. But I really appreciate those from a consumer perspective and through the lens of someone who works in loyalty.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Beth. I mean, Delta is an airline we haven't yet had on the show, I will confess. So again, of course, extending an open invitation if anybody's listening from Delta. I know there's a lot of change going on for them at the moment, and it's a little too soon, of course, to see how that impacts somebody like you as a frequent traveler. But, at the end of the day, the fact that you changed a tropical holiday destination in order to stay and fly with one airline is off the charts, bonkers. And I seem to recall you also did a dedicated, I think it's normally called a mileage run, but you did a diamond run to retain status, yeah?
Yes, I sure did. I called it a diamond run. I will fully confess, I flew to Miami with myself on December 31st because I was at risk of not being a diamond, and that was not an option. And I was slightly embarrassed, Paula, until I ran into a number of other people also on diamond runs that day.
Wow.
And I thought, this is a company that has loyal members who will do whatever we need to do to make sure that we enjoy those perks all year. So busted. I'm busted.
Totally busted. I think the only thing more extreme than actually doing that and again spending your time and money to retain your status is when you sometimes hear about brands where people make, put a tattoo, maybe like a Harley Davidson or something, So someday we must have a story from maybe a member of a program who's done something like that. So I hope you've no Delta tattoos. But anyway, well done you on practicing what you preach, and I suppose even sharing the story of what they did at the airport that day. So it really is sometimes the small things that count. So it's a really, really good example. So let's get into your career, Beth. As I mentioned, I think your actual loyalty to Ford, which is, of course, an iconic brand. And again, the first automotive loyalty conversation that we've had. Tell us about both your career and also your family history with Ford, because that's something that is truly exceptional.
Absolutely happy to, and honored that we're the first automotive company here. You said the tattoo of Delta. If I would get one, it would have to be the Ford Oval, because not only have I spent my entire adult career here with 30 years with Ford Motor Company, blessed and honored to have had that opportunity. But Ford Motor Company this year is celebrating 120 years.
Wow.
And I'm so honored to say that my family I've married into, we have the Leverton family. We have been at Ford for all 120 years. And so working for Elena Ford in the office day to day, I told her the Ford family has been supporting our family for all 120 years. And I'm eternally thankful for that. So yes, all 30 years. But I do have to say, I feel like my kind of passion for this space of being a servant leader to the customer, really understanding the benefit and value of amazing experience. Started with when I was in college and worked for Disneyland. And I think one could argue that they're just amazing at providing those magical experiences throughout your day. And they go to the utmost lengths to make sure customers have that really amazing experience. And some of those early memories of seeing that and being trained by them in their very specific ways that they're so successful at, I've taken throughout my years at Ford. And while 30 years have been in a number of different roles throughout assembly, manufacturing, marketing, tech, and now really fortunate to be a part of this customer experience team at Ford. And it's the customer experience team. While all 120 years of Ford, we've really dedicated to serving our customers, meeting their needs, providing fabulous products for them. It was just about 5 years ago that the company recognized that experience, that customer centricity, that customers want us to know them, show that we know them, show up to them in a personalized manner. That is so important. And so rather than being as much as a product focused company, we are a customer focused company. And through that, Elena Ford, one of the many things she's pioneered and trailblazed at the company was creating this customer experience organization where we provide loads of experiences to differentiate ourselves, to help set Ford apart in this space, and really to continually look for ways. In my space, of course, like we get to look for ways all day to love on and reward and thank and show our appreciation to our millions of people who own Ford vehicles and been buying them for all of these 120 years we've been in business.
Incredible, incredible. And you make a good point, Beth, I suppose, about getting the basics right first and foremost. And you told me when we were preparing, I guess, for today, about just some of the basics about, for example, like the servicing facilities that Ford offers that no other motor company does. So, we'll come on, of course, to talk about your structured loyalty program, but just in terms of taking that customer feedback, which I hear you mention every time we have a conversation. So absolutely. I can feel it's in your heart, your soul, your work, and it's your ethos. But tell us some of those practical things that Ford does in terms of helping people enjoy owning a Ford in a simpler way.
Absolutely. I'm proud to, because again, I think sometimes we're so focused on loving on and providing great experience for our customers. We don't always talk about them as much as we should. So, for example, one of the within our customer experience area, in partnering with our 3,200 dealers throughout the U.S. Most of what I'm talking about is U.S. centric, and happy to talk about some of our global plans. But our 3,200 dealers in the U.S., we really focus together on delivering things like mobile service. You can't get to the dealership, no problem. We'll come to you. We'll drive a mobile van or a more mobile Transit Escape, and we'll bring that right to your door and service your vehicle. Saves people so much time and effort, and free service that we offer. In addition, pickup and delivery. Pick up your vehicle, bring it into the dealership. Anything that we can do to just remove the day-to-day friction of life, help take some of the burden. We want to be a part of the total vehicle ownership and making sure that anything we can do to make that an easier experience, a fabulous experience. And our rewards program is just one of those many things that is a part of our customer experience full ecosystem that we offer our members.
Yeah, you know, it's actually quite breathtaking to me that you are the only company doing that, because it's so obvious, you know. How on earth are any of us supposed to get our car serviced if we're leaving our car there? And then we got to get taxis, and it's just a whole palaver. So thank you for doing those simple things. I know, as you said, you're US focused. I'm not sure globally where all of that's at, but clearly once it starts, then of course it's going to roll out around the world. So take us then through the history of the structured loyalty program, Beth. I think the important thing that you shared with me, of course, previously is, you know, first of all, that dealer relationship. You've already mentioned 3,200 dealers across North America. They're obviously intrinsic to your success and essential that you can build those relationships. And then there's obviously the people who buy the cars themselves. So how do you go about building loyalty? Do you have one program for both audiences or two different programs? How do you manage loyalty in a structured way?
Yeah, fabulous question. And you know, you highlighted some of the blessings and the challenges. You know, we are so fortunate to have our dealer partners that we can, they're the face of our company. In many instances, the local Ford dealership and the area that is serving our customers so well, that is the face of Ford Motor Company to them, not the folks here in Dearborn in the tall office buildings, right? And so we're so thankful to have them, but then also preparing them and sharing as we roll out corporate changes. It's of course a lot of times in these podcasts we talk about the challenges, and it can be a challenge to get all of that information rolled out and shared throughout our entire ecosystem, including those 3,200 dealer partners. It's as well as communicating it through multiple channels of marketing. But the program itself, you know, we're always thinking about how can we benefit, of course, our customers. They're what keep us in business for all these years, and they're the heart of us. But how are we also benefiting our dealers? They have businesses to run, families to feed, you know, what's going to benefit them, and have while our members are enhancing their ownership experience through our program, how are we doing that by pulling them back into the dealers who take care of them? But then, of course, how are we benefiting Ford? Because let's be honest, it's a business as well, and how can we benefit? But really, we found that if we do right by them, it all works out. Right. If we are giving them the appreciation and the recognition and helping them feel what we're offering to them, but financial stuff work itself out as we run a business. We really, too, I think you had alluded to it, we really stepped back this year, too. As you mentioned, we opened our doors for this program just a few years ago. But as all good programs do, we continually learn and pivot. And what was built was great. There were so many great things about it. But we just stepped back, and we, of course, by direction from our customers and our dealer partners, they said, you know, we have some changes to make. It's a little too complicated. It's a little too confusing to communicate and even understand fully. And that sometimes things like that, friction, will inhibit participation. And we want the most amount of people we can possibly get to feel, to pull in these rewards that we're giving them and to feel that appreciation we want them to enjoy. And so we just simplified the program. It was just announced to our members, could not be more excited. And it's so easy. I think a kindergartner can explain it now, and that's good, right? So it's so simple. We still are a currency-based program.
Great.
And so we have points that you earn through different activities that you do with Ford. And then we also still have tiers. And we love tiers because in this business, it's so important to know our customers, and tiers help us know. We very clearly understand that things that are important to someone, perhaps earlier in their Ford journey, or even maybe out shopping for a Ford, the persona and the things that are valuable are very different, rather than someone who maybe has their 15th F-150 and this one has 300,000 miles on it, and they're so proud and they only service through Ford. You know, they're looking for different things from us, and so we want to make sure that we're offering those different things. So we do have a tiered program. It's free for everyone to join as well. Everyone can join our program. It's completely free.
Yeah.
You can sign up through our FordPass Rewards app on your phone, and we know that 80% of our members prefer to often use that experience or online through our web pages. But so it's completely free to join, and there's many benefits that you get as a base member, which we call bronze. And then as once you complete 2 activities, and it could be, there's a long list to choose from. You can buy a vehicle, you could buy windshield wipers, you could get a warranty plan, but just 2 activities, you bump up to silver. And if you complete 5 activities, you bump up to blue. And it's our hope that blue, which is our top tier, that blue is so rewarding and exciting that all of our members are chasing that goal because they see the value in that. And so a lot of what we're doing over the next 12 months is adding really great value and benefit and rewards into the program. And so whatever members see today, it will continually iterate and grow and become more rewarding, which is so fun. Like, how lucky are we that we get to spend our days thinking about how to reward people and recognize people? Like, so lucky.
That's exactly why I fell in love with loyalty the first time I ever got involved, Beth. So I think, like you, it was just like, oh my goodness, this is so much fun. So there's so many other things that we do in marketing, but this particular one, and because then of course we can measure the commercial benefits, it's like, oh my God, everybody's winning. So so that's super cool.
And I'm sorry, didn't cut you off there, but I get so excited about the program. I get so excited about the opportunity. I only told you about half of it. So we can there's 2 different ways to get through the tiered status through those activities. And we also augment our program with a FordPass Rewards Visa program. And so we have a credit card. We have cool ones that say Ford on them, or one with a Bronco. We have a lot of Bronco enthusiasts who love our Bronco credit card. And that's another way to bump through our tiers. And so with a credit card in hand, and once you make that first purchase, you automatically become a silver. And with a credit card in hand and larger purchases, 25,000, you become a blue member.
Amazing.
So the numbers are easy to remember. 2 activities or 5, a purchase or 25,000. But that's kind of our program in a nutshell. And we're just really thankful that we feel like more people are going to be rewarded more. And that was our goal. And of course, we measure all of that to understand and make sure that we're delivering things that they find valuable.
For sure. Well, honestly, I think you've nailed it, totally. I will say that, to have such simplicity coming through that you can explain it in 2 minutes, literally, on a show like this is wonderful. I think you're absolutely right. Loyalty professionals, we can often overcomplicate our programs, and simplicity drives loyalty. Like, there's just no question, When you look at other industries, you look at Google or McDonald's, it's sometimes the less you do, the happier the customers are. So, and I think it's amazing as well, because I know you shared with us before that, like, the average transaction time, of course, for buying a vehicle is lengthy compared to any sector, airline, retail, or whatever. So I think you mentioned it's about 5 years would be the average. So a very infrequent purchase. So to have something as simple as buying the windshield wipers as the second activity to get me somewhere is brilliant. It means it's achievable and powerful. And again, 5 doesn't feel like too many. So feels like you've done an awful lot of research. I know that's how you base everything that you do. And I know, like, verbatim feedback is something you said that you absolutely live by.
Absolutely. It's we listen and we record and we dissect every ounce of feedback we get from the customers. Some of it is offered up through our call centers. We have an amazing call center that listens and records and captures opportunities and things that we can do. And as well as we're continually doing customer research. Whether it's we have an amazing usability lab at Ford, where we can bring customers in and get that raw feedback and test things as well. Versus we we focus on the Net Promoter Score and how we show up to customers and how they offer and recommend us.
Yeah.
We listen to all of the feedback that comes in and continually seek it out.
Yeah.
And then making sure that we use every ounce of it. They're all golden nuggets. It's a problem to solve. Oftentimes, I love the saying that from Carlson's Moments of Truth, finding those moments of misery and turning them into a moment of magic, but looking for all of that feedback that we can take and learn from.
Yeah.
We also have not shied away from our, artificial intelligence, and sometimes with thousands of rows of data, it's the quickest way to say, what do I work on first? I want to move fast and serve our customers.
Yeah.
Take a look at this data and tell me where to start. And so that's just one of the many ways that we've worked to use the latest technologies to continue to iterate.
Yeah.
It's so fun too. I was just out in a dealer visit and I said, what can we do to help you? What do you think this program needs? And he gave us a couple of suggestions, and it was so fun to go back and say, here you go. And very quickly iterate and deliver for them. And so, again, our customers are the people who buy our vehicles are our customers that we're serving, but we're also serving our Ford dealerships and our dealer partners.
Yeah.
And so it's important to listen to all of them, gather up all of the data, make sure that we're making smart decisions. And a lot of times it's about it's tough. We have a lot of tough decisions to make. We can't do it all.
Yeah.
We like to say we say no a lot, so we can say yes to the best.
Yeah.
And continually look at what we can do and how quickly we can do it to benefit the most number of people who are buying our precious vehicles.
Amazing, amazing. And before we leave the tiers, I did also just want to, I suppose, compliment you on the brand association, because obviously blue is the Ford brand color, and just to have that as the aspiration for the program tier as well, I think is a subtle thing, but actually at the same time very powerful. Because again, sometimes there's things like diamond or whatever, but Ford is all about that identity of being, a blue colored brand. So I think those kind of details do come through in the intention of a program. So yes, there you go. So tell us some of your successes, Beth. I know there's some amazing numbers you shared with me in terms of membership numbers and awards redeemed in terms of the value that's been accrued. So give us a sense of what's been achieved so far. And of course, as we go into 24, as you said, I know it's going to be much more ambitious, which of course means you're just going to have to come back on the show every year to share the updates. But where are we starting from, given that you said you had a relatively complex program, but still managed to achieve a lot?
Yes, absolutely. We're always focused on the future numbers, but happy to share today's.
Yeah.
We're just under 13 million members today. So that's, in my mind, again, 13 million people. They're so critical to listen to and serve them with the best possible experience we can.
Yeah.
We, as I mentioned, it's a points-based program, and we reward points today for activities and always have. And it's so fun to see how people use them. Some for things like a Sirius satellite radio, they can use it to make that a free experience for them. Some people have used their points to buy a new vehicle. Not a lot. I mean, it's a lot of points to buy, but it has happened. Can you imagine walking into a dealership and saying, this one's on Ford because I've been a loyal member, using their credit card or servicing through them, and I have enough points for a brand new free vehicle. So a wide array, and it's about $1.5 billion in points that we have awarded. And I feel really great about that, because that's every one of those dollars is an appreciation dollar that goes back into somebody's hearts and mind, that they know that the company that they're buying their vehicles from appreciate their business and are coming back and giving that to them. So yes, we continue to grow and learn. We add a couple 100,000 members each month, and we'll continue to grow and serve more and more folks. So.
Absolutely incredible. I actually hadn't even thought it would be possible to get a free car. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great example. So that is the ultimate loyalty, and I can only imagine the level of advocacy and the NPS scores from people who've managed to redeem a free vehicle. So at some point, I mean, certainly again as a show, we're interested, I suppose, in exploring I suppose those customer conversations that you as a loyalty professional get to have maybe with those type of members who really have managed to, enjoy the benefits of their own loyalty to you. So at some point, hopefully we'll be able to share those kind of stories directly with our audience as well, because there's learnings there, again, for loyalty professionals to understand how somebody starts on that journey and then believes it's possible to ultimately achieve something that's so valuable, like way beyond what our airline loyalty program managers, etc., would be thinking about. So unbelievable stuff. A great example. I suppose I don't want to, go through all of the details, Beth. I want to keep this, nice and clear and simple again for our audience. But you did mention that you have 4 Ps, which are the principles of your success with your loyalty program. Again, I know they've led to this simplification and the relaunch. So just maybe in brief, I'd love if you would share them, just so people can start to understand how you think about the various aspects of what to focus on.
Absolutely. It's, when we talk about what makes, what's working for us and what's helping to drive this continued success, first, it always starts with the people. And we not only have a strong, really diverse group of folks that some really creative and coming up with the next new exciting thing to offer and ways to reward, where others are focused on process and keeping us, marching at the correct pace. Everything from the stakeholders who support us to the leaders who allow us, who give us that leash to say run like a startup, pilot new things and move quickly and build this program. So the people are what's really strong, as well as we have a lot of partner help too. We have our VML agency and LASIK, as well as others who help us on the people side and support our program, and which leads me to the program, and that is just making sure that you have a program in place that is serving your customers well. We've talked quite a bit about that, and as I mentioned, we just made it more simple. But making sure that you have a program, and there was a really great session you had with Beth Cade from McDonald's, when she talked about putting the plumbing in place for a global experience to go more broadly, and we're doing a lot of that right now. So making sure this program has some components that can have global applicability, and really again ensuring that the program is serving our customers and representing our brand as we want it to be. The platform is my 3rd P, and making sure that the platform can scale and support such a venture globally, right? And so we have really great tech talent within Ford Motor Company who move fast alongside us using agile delivery practices, and we all sit together, work closely together, and as we're on this journey and all working towards these KPIs together. And we augment that, our tech talent, with Comarch, and Comarch is, they're the geniuses in the loyalty space, and couldn't have better partners along this journey with us. And they bring us new experiences and new opportunities all the time that we can then again pass on to our customers, so that platform, the Ford tech talent combined with the masterminds at Comarch really help augment and help us move really fast. And the 4th P I always think about is prioritization. And I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but we want to do it all. We want to try all the new shiny things and make everything better that we've already built. But rigorous and data-driven prioritization is it's so important. And every decision we make is run through data models to make sure we're making the right decision. We want to know the outcome, expected outcome, before we make the pull. And so just prioritizing, as I said earlier, making sure we say no a lot so we can say yes to the best. And some of the tools, we use so many tools to help us with that as well. For example, we had a tile on our site, and we were measuring the clicks. We flipped it to a different spot. It triples the click-throughs. And so just continue to use data tools to be able to measure and help us with those prioritization decisions is really, really important. And so those are kind of some of the things I think of as the 4 Ps, making sure we have the right people in place. We absolutely do, but making sure that you have a program that can scale and support your customers to the best way possible, the platform, and then the rigorous prioritization.
Very comprehensive, Beth, very impressive. And I guess because it was Comarch who brought us together at that user group conference in Krakow, I'm glad you've mentioned them. And I do like that, I suppose, mix between the internal, as you said, Ford, technology capabilities, but then supplemented by industry expertise. So, Comarch are great friends of our show as well. So, I'm delighted you're on the journey with them and that they're supporting you. It sounds like, from what you briefly alluded to there, that global expansion is something that is on the priority list. As you said, McDonald's, I think, absolutely demonstrated extraordinary results. They're in 50 countries now. It is absolutely amazing. So I guess my final question is, what does the future hold for Ford from a loyalty perspective? Clearly, global expansion is one, and I'm sure there's a plan for that. But anything else that you can share that you're thinking about as we go into 2024?
Great question. We're thinking about it every day. Again, it's always fun to leap forward to some of the future to see where we can go. We do have a strategy team that did a lot of work to put together a 5-year plan. And a lot of what we're doing in the next couple of years is, I alluded to a little bit earlier, but really doubling down on the benefits and rewards. What else can we do? What else can we offer? And curating special experiences. So that is for sure an area of focus that we're excited about. Another thing that I'm excited about is we're a really big company, almost 200,000 employees throughout the globe, all working on really, really important things, and continually looking for ways to help shine a light on those other areas of the company, so we can perhaps spread awareness and help learn. And it's really our goal that we as a company present ourselves to our customers, our members, as one oval, right? This one blue oval, and looking for ways continually to help weave in our program throughout the other areas of Ford. We know some of the areas that there's no question that electrification is a big part of our future. So next year, another priority will be how might we continue to amplify experiences and rewards for those early adopters of electrification and those that are using this as the means. So I won't give away any secrets, but we have exciting things coming. But always looking to learn and do better, always looking to serve our customers to the best way we can, and just continuing to grow as a team so we can support even more.
Amazing. Yeah. And I think you articulated it super well last time we met, Beth, as well, that I suppose your intention is to be loyal to your dealers, to your customers, to people who drive Ford. And I think that is the way the industry is going, because that is the only way that the loyalty does come back. And it does have to start with the brand. So I'm really inspired to hear that Ford has taken it so seriously and doing such a beautiful job. So I don't have any further questions for you today, Beth. Is there anything else that you wanted to share before we wrap up?
I just so appreciate the opportunity to be here today. I have deep love for the oval, as you can see. I wear it on my heart. I wear it close by every day. I love that the ability to be able to bring the best of this company to our customers and serve them in the best way we can. And so I'm really thankful for the opportunity to be here. I feel like I get so many tips while I listen to your podcast. And I had a tip I wanted to pass along because it's something that's really working well for us. So if I can,
please, yes.
The hundreds and hundreds, 435 or so recordings you already have. There's so much great information out there. And so what we have been doing is just pick 2. So each team member picks a couple podcasts to listen to each week, and then record a couple of nuggets of really insightful things that you learned or heard that you think that the team would be interested to know or benefit. And then in our stand-ups at the end of the week, you share out what you've learned. And so people are so generous with their information and sharing. So that's my tip to pass along. Pick a couple of podcasts a week, listen to them to be able to learn from each other. We're on this journey together, we loyalists. We're on the journey together, and people are so giving with their information. Make sure folks are taking advantage of that for sure.
That is an amazing tip, Beth, and absolutely thank you for sharing it. I think, for me, of course, we love creating this content, and there are so many amazing podcasts in the world. But what I think particularly podcasts do that other marketing media might not do is just that authenticity of hearing a conversation that I think people kind of connect with, and they get it. It's intentional, the listening is intentional. So absolutely extraordinary to hear that that's what your team is doing. So please make sure any tips that we've missed on this show that your team pass them on. I feel like we're going to be having to stay very closely in contact with you, Beth, following your journey and your story. So I think I will just say on that note, Beth Leverton, it's been absolutely extraordinary. Congratulations on the 30 years in Ford. Congratulations on the relaunch and the simplification. We will be super excited to hear how it goes. So, Beth Leverton, Director of Rewards Loyalty at CX at Ford Motor Company, thank you so much from Let's Talk Loyalty and Loyalty TV.
Thank you. Thank you so much.